1/3 of the people who have been given what these scientists call heroic doses of psilocybin in research studies at Johns Hopkins University have had what folks would call a bad trip. Not only have they had a bad trip, but they've had hell trips. Before being given the psilocybin, the scientists warned the research subjects that their experiences may vary from very positive to transcendent and lovely to literal hell realm experiences, as frightening an experience as you have ever had in your life. I am so happy that the first time I took a heroic dose of psilocybin mushrooms, I was at a Fish concert and not in the laboratory at Johns Hopkins University. And about that Fish concert, I'm pretty sure that almost every single person in the audience had ingested some kind of psychedelic, and you know what I didn't see? I didn't see a third of them rolling around on the ground screaming, freaking out that they were in hell. I saw them all having a good time and enjoying the concert. Almost 100% of those people were having a good trip. Okay? Proving my point that it is the environment they're putting people in, not the psychedelics themselves, that are causing 1/3 of the people to have a bad trip at Johns Hopkins University. Basically, what they're doing to people is literally a form of psychological torture. They're psychologically torturing people and forcing them to have bad trips, hell realm trips, on psilocybin in the name of scientific research. I think this is a horribly unethical experiment. I would like to start out this video by warning you that I have a very bad cold right now. I'm sitting here in bed in my pajamas, as you can see, and I've basically been laying in bed for much of the day, actually for much of the last few days, drinking cups of warm tea and coffee and trying to get over this cold. I may interrupt this video to blow my nose with this toilet paper right here, which I may or may not edit out of this video during the editing process. Now that you have been forewarned, I'm making a video while I'm sick in bed because I'm seriously concerned about the safety of a group of people. The people whose safety I am concerned about are the study participants being given psilocybin at Johns Hopkins University. Recently, I made a video called Tripping for Muggles, Magic Mushrooms Explained by Adrienne Floreen. And in that video, I kind of jokingly said that keeping people in a room... Come on over here, Marlon. Don't knock over my phone or my computer. Keeping people in a room while having them blindfolded, while making them listen to weird music like a mixture of classical music and Enya, would make people have bad trips. And in that video, I also made fun of numerous statements attributed to scientists researching psychedelics. Statements that portrayed the psychedelics to be very scary and very dangerous, like you could feel like you're in hell for a literal eternity, or you shouldn't take psilocybin mushrooms alone because somebody has to be there to make sure you don't freak out, basically. And I was under the impression that these scientists were making these statements because the pharmaceutical corporations wanted to have a monopoly on the sale of psychedelics, so statements like that would make people more likely to vote for laws that would allow them to be used by somebody who was like being supervised by a paid doctor, rather than laws that would allow you to grow them yourself or buy them in a store to use on your own without a paid doctor monitoring you. And to some degree, I was correct about that. It turns out that a corporation owned by a millionaire couple is basically trying to set themselves up to be the only company allowed to sell psilocybin in America. But I just found out something absolutely horrible. It turns out that the reason that top scientists researching psychedelics think that they're so scary and dangerous is that 1/3 of the people who have been given what these scientists call heroic doses of psilocybin in research studies at Johns Hopkins University have had what folks would call a bad trip. Not only have they had a bad trip, but they've had hell trips. Before being given the psilocybin, the scientists warned the research subjects that their experiences may vary from very positive to transcendent and lovely to literal hell realm experiences, as frightening an experience as you have ever had in your life. This woman was crying the entire time and would never want to do psilocybin again. And here's the worst part. One of the top scientists, Matthew Johnson, says that the bad trips are key to the experience. So what they're trying to say is you have to have a bad trip on psilocybin for it to work? These people are 100% incorrect. And they seem to be under the impression that 1/3 of the people that they're giving psilocybin to are having bad trips because of like an innate effect of psilocybin. It just happens to give 1/3 of people who take it bad trips, or just happens to give 1/3 of people who take that dosage a bad trip. And that is completely incorrect. As I said in my video called Tripping for Muggles, Magic Mushrooms Explained by Adrienne Floreen. The reason that people are having bad trips is that they are locking them in a room, forcing them to wear a blindfold, and playing music that probably doesn't sound very good to the people while they're tripping. Basically, what they're doing to people is literally a form of psychological torture. They're psychologically torturing people and forcing them to have bad trips, hell realm trips, on psilocybin in the name of scientific research. I think this is a horribly unethical experiment. I have some suggestions for these scientists. The way they are doing this experiment should change. People should not be locked in a room, blindfolded, and forced to listen to horrible music. They should be, first of all, allowed to go outside if they need to. Maybe they could do it in a room that had its own door that led to outside to a little garden or something, where they could go outside into the little garden if they needed fresh air and easily go back into their own little room. They should absolutely not be blindfolded. Like, just because Terence McKenna suggested that people should take 5 grams of shrooms in a silent, dark room doesn't mean that you should give a dosage of psilocybin or psilocybin mushrooms that high to somebody having serious psychological problems who's never taken them before. That's for people who are like wanting to like go deep within their own minds and explore their own minds and stuff, or have a really intense trip, but probably not the best idea for first-time users, especially not ones with serious psychological problems. What are you chewing? Oh, it's a cat toy. You found a cat toy in my room. That's cute. And as for the music, I did recommend some music in my video called Tripping for Muggles, Magic Mushrooms Explained by Adrienne Floreen. But since I made that video, I actually thought about the music thing And I realized that people are probably going to be most comfortable listening to the type of music that they normally enjoy listening to while they're sober when they are tripping. In my own personal opinion, that might be the best thing to do. Let people create their own playlist of music that they think that they're going to like listening to, because it can be a really weird experience to listen to music that you're not familiar with while you're tripping, and it can be a really uncomfortable experience to listen to music that you don't like while you're tripping. The scientists might literally be making people have bad trips just by the music alone, and the music combined with the blocking of other senses, like making the person have their eyes closed, or the fact that the music is on headphones so it's like all they can hear and it's drowning out other sounds, might be like the biggest reason why 1/3 of these people are having hell realm trips. In my opinion, if the scientific study is making 1/3 of the people have hell realm trips, this is not a successful scientific study. Like, 1 out of 100 people or less should have a bad trip. 1/3 of the people having bad trips shows me that they're failing horribly. And I'm not just saying this in this video. I called these scientists on the phone and left them voicemails. I posted this on their Facebook pages. I tweeted them on Twitter. I am like desperately trying to let them know that the reason that people are having bad trips in their research study is that they're basically like psychologically torturing the people and making them have bad trips. I don't want to turn on the TV and see scientists proclaiming that 1/3 of the people they give psilocybin to are having bad trips, and that's a wonderful thing, because that's absurd. That's horrible. That's not a wonderful thing. And what makes me the most upset is that they said this on national television and millions of people watched it, and a large percentage of people who watched it probably don't know anything about psychedelics already. So whatever they were told about them in that TV program might have been like the only thing that anyone has ever told them. And what they were told is that 1/3 of the people who do psilocybin will feel like they're in hell. So thank you for completely distorting the American public's perception of reality. I am so happy that the first time I took a heroic dose of psilocybin mushrooms, I was at a Phish concert and not in the laboratory at Johns Hopkins University. And about that Phish concert, I'm pretty sure that almost every single person in the audience had ingested some kind of psychedelic, and you know what I didn't see? I didn't see 1/3 of them rolling around on the ground screaming, freaking out that they were in hell. I saw them all having a good time and enjoying the concert. Almost 100% of those people were having a good trip. Okay? Proving my point that it is the environment they're putting people in, not the psychedelics themselves, that are causing 1/3 of the people to have a bad trip at Johns Hopkins University. And with that said, I am going to now end this video, because I'm getting more and more congested and needing to blow my nose and get more hot coffee. Sorry that this is a shorter video than normal. I'm sure I have more to say on this topic, but okay, I can't wait anymore. I have to blow my nose. Sorry, people. I might record another video on this topic later. There are also some other articles on the topic of psychedelics that are about as ridiculous as the transcript of 60 Minutes that I was reading you. I will read those articles on camera later on tonight or tomorrow. For now, please like this video, share this video, watch my other videos, subscribe to my channel, and donate money to me on Patreon and other sites. Bye.